Hi, welcome back to the basement. I'm Steve Lewis. You know, I thought it a little unfair to present today's episode without just a word of friendly warning. I had originally intended to review the 1990 Beach Boy docudrama Summer Dreams, The Story of the Beach Boys. And then I thought, rather than talk about this docudrama, I should show you what this docudrama is like. And therein were the seeds of what you are about to see. Endlessly Summer Dreamin', my own one-man docudrama of the Beach Boys. I think it will thrill you. It might possibly astound you. So for any of you whose nerves may not be able to take the strain, now's your chance to, well, I've warned you. Mike, Carl, Al, those were great harmonies. We're starting to sound more and more like my beloved four freshmen. You guys sound pretty good. Anyway, I'm off to the beach. Why don't you sing about something interesting like surfing? Surfing? Dennis, who wants to hear songs about surfing? Surfing is the only life, the only way for me. Guys, I've got a great idea.
Brian, son, that song of yours is the worst, most vile, vomit-inducing, lousy piece of garbage I've ever heard. And with me as your manager, we can make it a hit. Now I'm off to see the record company. All right, you've heard the tape. You know my boys are great. Sign them up. Mr. Wilson, what you fail to appreciate is the fact that teenage groups are on the way out. And your sons aren't even professional musicians. They're just boys, a sort of beach boys. You've got no vision. My beach boys, as you call them, are going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm managing that too. All right, well, I am just a simple music industry professional, but I'll take a chance on these beach boys. Who knows, this fad, surfing, might actually catch on. Sign this ironclad contract. You've made a wise decision. Where do I sign? Hey, Brian, you'll never believe it. They're playing our song on the radio. Whoa, I can't believe it. It's really us on the radio. This has got to be the thrill of a lifetime. Well, we've certainly enjoyed great regional success with you Beach Boys over the last year and several months. Congratulations. Thank you. I'm afraid, however, that we may have come to the end of the line with this surfing fad. But what do you mean? Our records are doing great. What you have to understand is the great majority of the country isn't hep to surfing like you and me. At best, they're a bunch of gremmies and ho-dads. What? I mean, if everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing. Guys, we've got to get back in the studio. Well, guys, all this relentless touring and promotion and recording has paid off. We've got the biggest band in the country. In fact, we've got to be the biggest band in any country. You're right, Mike. We've really reached the top. You're right, Dennis. But the constant strain of touring, arranging, producing, and writing is beginning to get to me. Dig that chick in that hot car. Looks like she's having fun. Yeah, till her daddy takes the T-Bird away. Guys, we got to get back in the studio. Well, guys, the hits keep coming, but I just don't know if I can compete with this British invasion. The Beatles are going to be really a challenge for us to top. Don't worry, Brian. We've got faith in you. I'm sure you'll come up with something. By the way, Mike, this is really good bread you made.
Sorry, Dennis, I couldn't hear you. I was getting something out of the freezer. Oh, I've got a real cool head.
Guys, we've got to get back in the studio.
Well, Brian, things have gotten a lot more difficult since you left the touring band to pursue writing, recording, and producing full-time. Glenn Campbell has been a good replacement, but he wants to be a solo star.
Yeah, he's a nice guy and a great session player, but he acts like he wants to be some kind of rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah, well, I guess he's dumb. He'll probably end up as a lineman for the county.
Well, Mike, why don't you try calling
Bruce Johnston from the Ripcords. He plays and sings great, and he writes the songs that make the whole world sing.
Bruce Johnston, huh? Okay, I'll give him a call. It's just not the way it was, Brian. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away.
I agree, Brian. I can't get no satisfaction.
Yeah, even Al's having trouble with his girlfriend.
Well, since she put me down, I've been out doing in my head. Guys, we got to get back in the studio. Okay, this is going to be Help Me Rhonda, take 17. Hal, a little heavier on the toms this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, cut. What was that oom-pa-pa music?
Come on, Brian. Put a little oom-pa-pa into it. Polka's the thing. Polka's coming back.
There's no euphonium on Help Me Rhonda.
Come on, Brian. Where's your sense of adventure? Try a little euphonium on that track. It's just what Help Me Rhonda needs.
Okay, let's try it again. Carol, really bubble up on those bass notes this time. This is take 18. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut.
Oh, come on, Brian. I'm a genius, too.
Dad, we can't work with you this way.
Oom-pa-pa, let's hear it.
I'm the producer. I'm the writer. This is my vision. This is my song.
Oom-pa-pa.
Okay, Dad, that's it. You're fired. You're no longer our manager.
What? You wouldn't dare!
I don't care, Dad. We're done. You're out of here. You no longer represent the Beach Boys.
All right, Brian, but mark my words. One of these days, you're going to get a little too big for your britches, and it'll all catch up to you. Murray out!
What is this, Brian? A bunch of barking dogs? It's not even music. It's just sounds. Pet sounds.
Hey, Mike, cool it with the negativity. I could use some good vibrations.
Brian, quit messing with the formula.
I just can't sing any more songs about surfer girls and little deuce coupes. Come on over to the sandbox, Mike, and I'll play you some of the stuff Van Dyke and I are working on as a follow-up.
Van Dyke, what do these lyrics even mean? Over and over, the crow cries uncover the cornfield.
It means whatever you want it to mean, or it means nothing at all. Don't be on such a literal trip, man.
I can't take all this freaky nonsense. I've got to go find someplace peaceful. Wow, it sure is peaceful here in Rishikesh, India.
Flew in from Miami Beach. Flew.
Hey, Paul, let me show you how to write a hit song. Flew in from Miami Beach, BOAC. Well, Bruce, the late 60s are certainly lean times for us Beach Boys. Ever since we dropped out of the Monterey Pop Festival and Brian stopped working on Smile, it seems like the times have passed us by.
That's true, Mike. In these countercultural times, people seem to think of the Beach Boys as surfing versions of my friend Terry's mom. We've done some great music, but nobody seems to be listening.
Brian is spending most of his time laying in his room, listening to Sgt. Pepper on the headphones, and he's hardly producing any music. And Dennis has fallen in with a bad crowd. I especially don't like that new friend of his, Charlie.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think that's his real family either.
Now see here, I want to sell the rights to all the Beach Boy music publishing. I want to sell it fast and I want to sell it cheap.
Well, Mr. Wilson, I could give you $700,000.
Where do I sign? You've made a wise decision, now go to hell!
You know, Murray, as many times as you've come in here, I never know what to expect. Sometimes you're annoyed, sometimes peeved, sometimes livid, sometimes mad, sometimes angry, sometimes furious, sometimes you're enraged. You certainly have many moods, Murray Wilson.
Shut up!
Well, Carl, here we are in the 70s. That Endless Summer double album has put the Beach Boys on top of the charts. People are flocking to see our concerts. Everybody wants to see the Beach Boys. But Dennis and Brian are messing it up. Dennis has become increasingly unreliable as this decade has gone on. And Brian, who was always troubled, has really gone off the rails since Murray sold the rights to his songs. All he does is lay in bed, eat a lot of food, and lumber around that house in Bel Air. We got to do something about those guys.
I agree, Mike. Both Brian and Dennis need help. I don't know what we can do about Dennis. He's just unmanageable. But we might be able to do something about Brian. There is a doctor I've heard about named Gene Landy. Now, he's very expensive. His methods are unorthodox, highly questionable, very strange, possibly unethical, really unusual, kind of objectionable, really bizarre, beyond the pale of all human understanding, hard to fathom, completely irrational, totally ludicrous, ridiculous to an extreme degree, and morally reprehensible. But he may be just the guy to help us with Brian. As I understand it, Dr. Landy is with the patient 24 hours a day, providing constant security, vigilance, physical exercise, and control of all of Brian's finances and personal affairs. It's drastic, but it may be the very thing we need.
It sounds like a plan. We've got to do something.
All right, I'll give Dr. Landy a call and see if we can start Brian's treatment right away.
Oh, Brian, there's a Dr. Landy here to see you.
Uh-oh. Hey, Brian! Brian!
Oh, hey, Dennis.
Hey Brian, that Landy's really got you working hard, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
That guy's a drag. Let's give him the slip. I got the burgers and the fries and the Coke.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Well, okay, let's go.
Dennis, we need to talk to you. We can't have you messing up Brian's treatment.
Oh, lighten up, Mike.
It's not just that. Half the time you don't show up at shows, and when you do show up, you're in no condition to perform.
Well, now I'm gonna turn up just to tick you off.
That's it, Dennis. We've talked about this. Until you clean up your act, you're out of the band.
You can't do that. I'm a founding member. Carl will never go along with this. I'll pummel him.
I'm sorry, brother, but Mike's right. Until you can contribute to the band again, I'm afraid you're out.
What? I can't believe it. That's a bunch of bull. I'm going to the marina.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Washington, D.C. 4th of July welcome to the Beach Boys. Bruce Johnston, Alan Jardine, Carl Wilson, Mike Love, and Brian Wilson. I'd like to dedicate this next song to my brother, Dennis.
Thank you, Washington, D.C. on behalf of the Beach Boys. We have truly become America's band.
Well, how about that? You can't say I didn't warn you. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.